What's up, ballers? Welcome to episode 60 of the AllDriveNoDrop podcast. We took a week off. We just needed to recharge, right? David was out. Who knows what? We'll find out what he was doing. I was still playing pickleball, but I just needed a break. We both, we just had to recharge, reset to come deliver a really good 60. We didn't want to give you a bad 60th episode, okay? David, how are you doing? Are you feeling recharged?
No, for sure. I actually haven't played pickleball in like 2 weeks for now. But yeah, I've just been busy traveling and hopefully I think this is my second to last trip for the year.
Okay.
But at least for the time being, gonna be home for a while, which is gonna be good.
Second to last trip. So is your last trip the one I know about? Or is there another?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
I don't know if are we even allowed to make that announcement?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Maybe we'll hold that
Well,
off.
it does depend on if flights go back to normal, so it's
Okay.
contingent on that.
Never mind, guys. I don't even want to get everyone excited about that then if it's not gonna happen. So we better we better not talk about it. I don't think you're allowed to say you haven't played pickleball in 2 weeks. I don't know if we're supposed to say that. Um, but I I
Yeah, it's true though.
I've been playing pickleball more than usual. But I took a couple days off the last couple days. Just my body needed a little break, but I went pretty hard. I did a tournament back to back weekends. It wasn't planned. I was helping out a friend. His partner didn't. An injury came up, but it worked out because I was playing with him last weekend, so I was like kind of like a warm up for us because that tournament was a
Mhm.
little easier, and then went into this tournament last weekend. So kind of brings me to I'll just touch real quick, I guess, on like everything we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about like how I made my paddle choice, which was like going between the Loco hybrid and the Black Opal, and then we got some stuff to go in the news. And then David's got a question of the week. We're going to talk a little bit about the Apes Charm Series, the Enhanced Duo, and then we're going to talk about some Black Friday sales. Actually, those Black Friday sales we're going to talk about before all that stuff, but just to kind of set the table here. But David, where were you off traveling to? Just in case the people are wondering.
Yeah, so I think I did mention this last time, but in October I had three weddings. So that was like 3 weekends that were gone. Luckily weren't too far. I think they were all like one was local and the other two were in like Charlottesville, which
Okay.
is 2 hours from where I am. And then I was in Fort Lauderdale for a week, and then last weekend I was actually in New York. I was gonna meet up with John from Speak Pickleball, but he had an ear infection. Or no, he had something else was wrong. He got sick, so I wasn't able to see him.
Oh no.
Um, but yeah, just been busy with that, and then getting the daily tasks with like the house, daily upkeep of everything, keeping everything organized, and uh, also just because I joined the MMA gym a couple months ago, so been, I'm in that point where it's like, you start a new sport and you're like getting like really into it. And so like that's me right now, just having the thrill of like trying something new, learning something new, and also like the frustration of like I can't do this yet, but I really want to learn it.
Okay.
So I've been doing a bit more of that and like the conditioning for that rather than pickleball, but I'm gonna start making the transition back now that I'm finally back home and I've got some more
I
time.
mean, are we gonna like watch you have an MMA fight soon, or is that gonna be live streamed? How's that gonna work?
I think the only other reviewer that I know of that does MMA is going to be Brian from Building Pickleball.
Okay.
So
I mean, don't have to
yeah, we'll
fight
see. It's like
another reviewer. I don't think any I don't think anyone's lining up to fight you, and no one else is training. I don't want to fight. Get our ass, get our ass kicked. Oh boy. That's cool. So, I mean, I look forward. If you actually do have a fight, make sure that's recorded because either way, if
most
you win
likely
or
I
you
will not
lose,
be competing.
if you win or lose, it's gonna be really good. You're not gonna
Yeah,
compete. This is just self defense
more of
training.
just like I just felt like I was kind of getting up there in age and I wanted to, do something a bit more active while
Mm.
my body's still able to. And I thought like, well, it's one of the hardest things I can do right now. I was like, well, maybe I'll learn, some MMA fighting. So I started picking that up and it's been fun, but
I I
I
mean
don't
I
know.
I guess oof. I'm getting up there in age too, but I mean I don't know if I'm about to push my body even harder. That's
I
that's
wanted to push it harder than pickleball was. So that was
okay,
the
that's
thing.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. you're saying you've seen those pickleball versus other player memes where it's like the pickleball player is the overweight guy and then the other person's just ripped. You're saying that's what you've been thinking about?
Yeah, it was just more of like my own personal,
Spice of life.
this is, yeah.
Okay.
I think I just
That's
kind of come from like having a background of like being a bit more active and like pushing myself a bit harder. And
okay.
earlier this year it was high rock, so now it's like I wanted to do something that was a bit different. So this is figured
I
a new
like
sport
it.
would be fun.
That's good. Yeah, I mean, I think doing new stuff and getting some variety is definitely good. You don't want to just always be all in.
Yeah.
Get get burnout. Okay. Well, I have something that's not MMA related. But I have this new limited edition colorway from Gearbox for their Power GX2 Power series. They have the hybrid and the elongated, and I don't know if they're calling this the winter edition, but I'm calling it the winter edition. So this is going to be on sale, I think, just the rest of the year here. Um, Normal price, same with the discount code, whatever. They're not. This one's not going to have a Black Friday sale, but they are going to have some Black Friday sales. Uh, the GX2 original is going to be $100 off. The Pro Ultimate collection is going to be 100 off. And then they're also doing weekly winners until Christmas from November 16th to December 25th. They're going to give away one GX2 Power Paddle every week. So you can go sign up for that. I'll put that link in the description. So if you want to try to go win one, I don't know if they're giving away the limited edition ones or just the regular ones, but I mean they'll play the same. So yeah, go check that if you want to try to win. That's just affiliated with their website. We don't have any part of that, so but you can go sign up and check that out. So just let people know. I thought I had another Black Friday sale I was going to talk about, but now I can't remember it. So yeah, I haven't seen anything that's been like a new paddle launch and they're doing a Black Friday sale, which I mean it makes sense. Most of it's on older stuff, so if you're looking for a brand new paddle, I don't think that you're going to see a Black Friday sale on it. Like, and I mean like a new release. Like there are Black Friday sales on new paddles, but nothing that's like a recent launch. Enough about Black Friday deals. We'll update those throughout the podcast, and I'll put those out on Instagram and stuff when I see them. I mean, there's going to be a ton from every company. If you're looking for
Yeah.
something, just go look at the company's website. I don't think they're going to put anything out that's like any recent launches. Just isn't how the Black Friday sales usually operate. So I wouldn't hold your breath on the Boomstick, a Loco, like Quantas, V-Sols. They I think Honolulu actually does have some, but it's like very slight. It's going to be like 5% on some of the new stuff. And then like
Mhm.
some of it's not going to be a discount, but you can look forward to that when it comes out. So I guess that is one that has a slight discount, but not really too much. But let me talk about my tournament experience and kind of what the thoughts went into it. And I do understand that this Black Opal is now like having a little bit of changes coming into production. I don't know if you've heard that
Yeah.
talk, David,
Yeah.
but I mean, I guess the good thing is it sounds like they're making it better with the
Yeah.
changes. So
Supposedly, yes.
yeah, supposedly making it better. So I mean, I guess it's not, it's good. I wish that we both had tried this new version. I don't know how it gets this late in the process and then you change it, but whatever. So it's like I'll talk about it anyway. Because I came down to these two. I really wanted to play one of these two in the tournaments.
Hmm.
Because I had tried to play the Loco before when I was playing with the J2NF, and like this had just come out. It just wasn't there. I wasn't comfortable with it enough, so I had to put it down like after one game in the tournament and switch back to the J2NF. And then I played a tournament with this, and then I was like, oh, should I play with the Black Opal? So the warm up tournament, I started with the Black Opal because basically, I mean, like what I was coming down to is like I was really tired that day, and I'm like, oh, well, let me get all the juice I can out of a hybrid, like, and that would be the Black Opal right now. It would have the most power for me, but I was just missing shots. I was cooking shots too long. I was overhitting stuff. I was kind of like spraying, and then like with the sweet spot not being as good, and I didn't have this weight set up like all the way yet, so it just wasn't happening. So I switched to the Loco. Everything went really well. The Loco just like with the big sweet spot, the power, the pop combo, the controllability, the spin, it just works so much better for me. I wish, so I wish I had played it the whole time. Uh, but I mean, I still think they're like I'm interested to see this new version, like how much better the sweet spot size is. If I had more time on it, would I have been okay? Because like sometimes I feel like like I'm just on with this paddle, and then other times just not. And then so I went into played a 4-5 men's tournament with the Loco, just locked that choice in. I was sick. So, already went in with the pre-built excuse, right? Just like tournament happens, my body gets sick. That's just what happens. Like I have to be sick for a tournament, apparently.
Mm.
Um, I know. I actually hadn't been sick since that nerdy tourney. That was the last time I had been sick
No.
from this year. So it'd been a long stretch of not being sick. But of course, I got sick. I felt it wasn't like the worst sickness, but it was like enough where I'm like, I knew I had to like conserve my energy throughout the day. And so I'm like, it did cross my mind. I'm like, should I be going with the Opal thing? Because, like just want the paddle to do all the work for me. But I just, I actually played like a slower game. So it was the first time I've played like a slow game with a power paddle, but I knew that I had to because I just knew I couldn't be running around doing the stuff I normally do. And it actually worked out pretty well. Like still having the power paddle with the ability to finish shots a little easier and getting a little more depth on your serve, even if you're not going to play super aggressive, it still worked out really well. And shout out to Tristan, my partner for the tournament. We took second. So I mean,
Nice.
and we
Congrats on that.
lost by like it was 15-12. We only played up to 15 for the the final, which so like we were right there. Paddle was definitely not anything. The paddle excelled. It didn't hold me back. It helped me. So very happy with the choice in the Loco hybrid for the tournament. Um, but I've played it with like 3 tournaments now, so it's like, oh, time. I feel like it's time to move on. Just because I keep, I like to like test the paddles in the tournaments. But honestly, if I'm ever in doubt, like it's always going to be in my bag, just because I could pull it out now. So yeah, that
Mm.
was good. So realize like me going slower is okay, and that can like it's just not the all drive style. But like I was like thinking to myself, I'm like, I think I only hit like you know 4 drives this whole tournament. I'm like, it feels weird, like dropping
Yeah, rebrand your
everything.
channel name now.
I know. It just didn't feel right. I just kept thinking about it. I'm like, well, it's working though. I was like, I'm out grinding people right now. I was like, I don't ever do this, but I was like, I guess it's working. So we're just gonna out grind you. Our our last game against the team that ended up winning, uh, it took like 45 minutes because they were playing a slow style and we were playing a slow style. And the open bracket, they ended up doing like a medal round. They played best 2 out of 3. They finished their best 2 out of 3 before we finished our game to 15.
Wow.
So it's how slow we were playing. So, but yeah, probably not the most enjoyable thing to watch someone play. And I tried to record that game. I get back the next day and I go to like, bring the game to the computer. And the game only recorded for 4 minutes. And the weird part is it recorded 4 minutes not from the start. It recorded four
Mm.
minutes after the side switch. So
Oh.
what? I was like, I don't even understand what happened. So some error happened. And it was like, of course, it was like the last 4 minutes where we were tied like 12-12. And then I think I missed a dink into the net, and then the next point I dumped one into the net, and then we lost. And I was like, great, you recorded like my worst moment, worst moments from the game, so I just deleted it. It was, what am I going to learn from that? Like, just, just didn't have it at the end. But yeah, how do you decide what paddles you're taking into a tournament, David? Do you take more than one, or do you just lock one in?
Uh, I will bring more than one if I like, if I need something. Usually, if I need a second paddle, it's because my first one is too poppy. And so I
Mm-hmm.
usually bring like a softer one. So like in my case right now, like if I brought a Loco to a tournament, my backup would probably be the Apes Par Mini X.
Okay.
just a softer feeling paddle. And let's say
Okay.
if I brought the Harmony, then my backup would probably be like a Vatic Prism or something, just something
Gotcha.
softer. So,
That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. Well, that's all I have on that. Any comments on that scenario?
uh,
Any
yeah, I
questions?
was gonna ask, uh, do you think you would have enjoyed a boomstick hybrid over the Loco, the hybrid?
I, you know, I'd be very interested if they would make a boomstick hybrid. I think that it would definitely be in contention for a paddle for me. I could see really enjoying it. So, Selkirk, let's go. Make it happen. I don't know. But yeah, I think I would like it. So, but they already came out and said they're not making a hybrid because they said it doesn't make any sense. Either you play wide body or you play elongated. I'm like, okay, just tell me my opinion doesn't matter.
They only care about the pros. If your
Yeah,
deeper is high enough, then they'll probably matter to them.
I'm more of the opinion is like, hey, if you like a wide body, a hybrid's actually better for you because like you just get the best of both worlds anyway, and it's a little longer. But I guess they like to go to the extremes. Why not just make it
Gotcha.
17 inches for the elongated then? I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's fair.
If you're gonna really go max it out. Anyway, um, yeah, that's all I have on
Oh,
that.
one more
So
thing is
yeah, go ahead.
while you were playing that slow game, were you also because I'm assuming your like points lasted longer, so you had like time to
Yeah,
think,
the
but
we were dinking a lot.
yeah, so did you at that time were you also thinking of a new channel name? And like any ideas you can share with us?
No, I mean, I didn't really think of a new channel name. I was just thinking, I'm like, I'm not living the all drive lifestyle. I was like, this doesn't feel, it just didn't feel right. I'm like, I've never played like this, but it was the right choice for the day. Like there was that, were you there? I think you were there when that guy came up to me. Maybe you weren't there. Maybe it was Bots, but he came up to me. He's like, all drops, no drives. And I'm like, no. I was like, no, that's not me.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then yeah, I was like, all dinks, all drops. It just doesn't sound as fun, so I don't think I could rebrand. I'd rather just switch back to the real style and
Yeah.
whatever. I don't even care if it's the most optimal strategy. It's just that's the channel name. You got to live and die by the channel names.
Yeah, you gotta stick with identity.
Yeah, I don't want to switch it now.
That's why I always
Just
tickle.
Oh, all right. Well, let's go to in the news. I don't even know if we talked about this before or it's kind of late in the category, but I thought I'd just briefly talk about it. But in the news is sponsored by Centerline Athletics. I got this t-shirt on here, very lightweight, breathable, but lately I've been wearing like the track pants and the joggers. Those are just great because like you can wear those out on your day. You're doing all your stuff. You can go right to the courts now with the colder weather, and you don't even have to take them off. They fit really well. They don't come down. They're like loose, but they're not too loose. So you're not like tripping over them or anything while you're playing. And then on the shorts, one thing I always love is, they got this fabric going down the middle at the end. That's called the grip technology. It lets you wipe your hand for the sweat. So, been loving that. David, I'm sure you probably took some Centerline on your vacation, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wearing the shirt right now too, underneath my vest. But yeah, I use it for almost like all my workout stuff when I can. So
hmm
when I was traveling at the gym, was always wearing one of these Centerline shirts.
Yeah. Easy to pack the shirts too. Like they can
Yeah,
fold
it's
down
really
into a
thin.
really small space. That's
Yeah.
another great feature that I don't think I've ever talked about because I'm not folding them, but I'm sure you did. And you could, I don't even know how many shirts you could fit in a backpack. You could probably fit a ton in there. So
Yeah.
anyway, in the news, it's these PPA contracts. Like I guess certain players weren't they all the players have a certain number of events they have to meet, like be
hmm
at and play at. And I guess some of the players weren't meeting those obligations by the end of this year. And I think some had gotten warnings and some are just getting their contracts terminated for not meeting their obligations. Because I think at this point, there's only a certain number of events available in the end of the year. So it just wouldn't be possible for them to meet their obligations.
hmm
And I mean, I think this is the first time I'm gonna agree with what the PPA is doing. But I mean, like, if you're just not doing the job that you signed up for, I mean, like, what do you expect? I mean, I guess you would say like, hey, shouldn't I get a warning? But I mean, like, these people got so they got huge contracts to begin with, right? For the
Hmm.
time. And I'm sure some of them have not been, like some have obviously fallen in the rankings, some have risen in the rankings. And I think it's more of like the people that have fallen in the rankings that they're cutting because it's like, hey, you're kind of on your way out of the sport. You're not even showing up to the tournaments. Like, would we'd rather just have rising talent replace you, right?
Yeah.
So I don't. What do you think about that, David? Is it fair to be cutting these people, or is it just more on them? They didn't get the job done, and they should have paid attention to their contract.
Definitely do need to pay attention to the contract, though. I'm wondering like how much of it was like I feel like for a lot of them it was like they chose not to attend the events. I feel like it
Hmm.
wasn't as much of a case that a lot of these people just happened to be sick and they couldn't attend.
Yeah,
Because if it's like more than if it's just like a few people that, were just sick, then I don't think this would have been a big deal. But it does sound like a lot of people were just choosing not to fulfill their contracts, and I think
yeah,
that could be an issue. And I guess it is tough for the players since they do have to travel, and I'm assuming PPA is not covering like, your airfare and then rental cars and your like all your housing. Like maybe you do get like discounts, but I can see that like all adding up, and especially if you're one of those players that's falling out of the rankings, like why would you travel to this city and like lose and end up just like losing money like just to fulfill this obligation? But at the
yeah,
same time, you are on a contract and you do need to be professional about it and meet all the requirements. So I think I agree with your point. Like that should be on the players to know that like, hey, you're supposed to attend this many events. I think people in other industries, other jobs, like you like if you're required to do it, like you should be doing that. So that's how I see it.
yeah. I mean, I think they're more focusing on the people that have like higher paying contracts because I know some
Mm,
some of them don't even get paid unless they actually show up. So it's not like I'm sure for them it's like, okay, well, if you cut me, you cut me. I wasn't getting paid anyway. So I think it's more of
mm,
the people that were getting a decent salary and then they weren't showing up. But I understand, like, if you're losing money every time you go, then obviously that's deterring you from going. So you're like, well, I'm losing money. I know I'm not
yeah.
going to win, and now I'm losing 2 grand to go there. So I would understand. But I thought that was interesting, and I know they're giving out some more. It seems like they're giving out some more contracts, but I mean the contracts aren't great. You're I don't even know if you're getting appearance fees. If you are, it's very small. So it's getting harder and harder to like make a living playing.
Hmm.
But I guess if they go to, I don't know if they're switching yet, but when they switch to like more prize money, I guess that will be a way. But it's so hard to break through. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Um, but yeah, nothing else on that. I've just found that interesting. I've been thinking about it. Anything else on that, David?
Nope, nothing else.
All right, let's get into David's question of the week, which is brought to us by oh tip toppers. Lost my I think my kids took my penguin, but the astronaut is here. Kind of hard to put it on with the headset, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, there we go. Oh, and it looks like they have a pickleball now
I
as a
don't know if
topper.
this is gonna be on the website, but this was like a special one
Okay,
they gave me.
okay. I mean,
But
if they're gonna talk to all the pickleballers, I mean, it kind of makes sense, right?
yeah, this is also like lighter than all the other toppers, so
Ooh,
it's like
yeah.
lightweight. Makes sense because it's like pickleball, but yeah, uh,
I
yep.
and they have a whole bunch of holiday seasonal ones. I saw. I was looking through them. They have a lot of Christmas ones, and I mean, like I don't know what other. I don't know if they're kind of like making the holidays as they come because I know they're newer. But they had a ton of Halloween stuff too.
Yeah, they definitely had a bunch of Halloween ones. Probably will have some Christmas themed ones, so try stay tuned for that. But we do have a code TMP25. Will save you 25% off their website, tiptoppers.com. Yeah, definitely check them out now that we both have them. But anyways, moving on to the question of the week. We are getting towards the end of the year, so I thought it'd be fun to start brainstorming some of the awards. And I just want to see on your side, off the top of your head, what are three contenders that you would put in for paddle of the year right now? And you don't have to commit to them if you ultimately answer and it's not one of
Yeah.
those like I'm not gonna say anything, but it's just like what are you thinking right now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Also, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I was thinking about this earlier in the day. So, if anyone has a category that they want us to do when we do the paddle awards video, let us know. I'll have to go look back at what we did last year. But if there's any category you think would be a fun category, and if you have any nominations for that category, go throw that in the comments. Um, well, I'll let me see. I'll do a dice paddle. I'm trying to think what paddle. I'll give you a choice of some good paddles. We'll do a giveaway to everyone that submits either a category or you submit some nominations. It could be for paddle of the year, best innovation. I'm trying to think
Biggest
of what categories
surprise.
we. Yeah, biggest surprise, biggest flop, or a new category. Give us some nominations. Give us a category, and I'll get you entered into the giveaway. And I'll give you a choice of some good stuff. But okay, top three paddles. I mean, I guess obviously local hybrid is definitely in there because that's what I've been playing with. Um, man, I've played with the J2NF so long this year, so I'll throw that in there too. And then the third one, I'm gonna go with the 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 GX2 Power elongated right now. There is another one that is creeping in there that we'll talk about later. But that would be my three that I've played the most with. So those would be my three favorite of the year
Okay.
so far. What about you? You got a top
Uh
three of the year?
yeah, so I'm in the same boat as you because I came up with a question but I didn't think about this in advance. So it's just like, oh, what am I thinking off the top of my head? Uh, I I would go one of the top contenders is the J2NF long handle. I think
Okay.
specifically that one.
Okay.
Um, GX2 power, I agree with you there. Uh, don't, I would say hybrid, I guess, for that one. And number three, I would go R3 Quanta.
Ooh, I didn't see that one coming.
So,
Interesting.
but I guess we
Uh,
may have different ideas on like how we're perceiving paddle of the year.
no,
Um,
I mean,
but
so paddle of the year, that's an interesting one because I've seen people do it different way. For me,
yeah,
I mean, I've only done it twice, I guess, right? Or maybe actually, yeah, twice. Did I do it twice or just once? I can't even remember now. Maybe I only did it once because last year I had it as the J2K.
Ye-
Maybe I only did it once. Yeah, I think I only did it once. I think I only did it last year.
yeah,
So,
I think that's right.
I mean, for me, I perceive paddle of the year for me as what the best paddle of the year for me was. So, like, what my favorite paddle of the year was, because I mean, like, I know, and I think other people just use it as like that was the most popular paddle of the year
Mm.
for the market at large. And it just kind of coincided that like the J2K lined up for both of that last year. So I don't know if how I don't know. I'm so like tied into it. It's like if I like it, usually other people like it. So I don't know. How do you perceive paddle of the year? Is it your favorite paddle or is it the paddle of the market?
Not my personal favorite paddle. I think that
Okay.
would be like a different award, and I think that would be a different list. But the
Okay.
way I kind of have it is this like really complicated algorithm of like innovation, price, um, how the public perceives it, and I guess like the impact it made when it came into the market. So it's a bunch of
Okay.
like other different factors that I throw in, and then usually just pick a random one out of all of those. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
Fair. That's fair enough. Maybe we'll do so personal. I'm gonna put that down now. Personal favorites
yeah.
will be a category for paddle awards. But yeah, I will have to start thinking about that because I mean that we're gonna have to do that pretty soon, and time's coming up
Yeah, we got
to
like
do
a
that.
month left basically.
Yeah, and we'll probably want to get it done. Like we don't want to wait till the end of the year because who knows with how busy things get. Maybe. Ooh, would that be a good one to possibly do if your trip ends up lining up, that might actually be a good one to do. We'll see.
Yeah, I was actually just thinking about that, but yeah.
That that'd be a pretty good one. All right,
Yeah.
we'll table that. What do we think about it? So doing a giveaway, put in your nominations for any of those categories we talked about or a new category, and that will qualify you for the giveaway. I'll pick one of those comments randomly, and I'll give you a choice of some really good paddles to pick from. All right. Anything else on that, David?
Nope, nothing else.
All right. So we're getting into just some paddles. Not too many paddles to talk about, just because there's been um, it's weird because I think last year it was kind of like a lot of paddles coming out around this time, and this year it isn't as many, which is fine. I mean, just the way things go. So this one's brought to you by Bodhi Pickleball. They make some amazing grips. Been using all the tacky grips actually lately. I've found that I like the tacky grips in the colder weather indoors, and I like the dry grips outside when I'm sweating. I've just found that those have been better for me. They make some tuning, weighting tape, and everything else. So all your pickleball accessory needs you can find at bodhipickleball.com. And click the link and use the code in the description to save yourself some money. But all right, so first up is the Pickleball Apes Charm Series. It's going to be live by the time you are watching this, so you can go there. It's pickleballapes.com at 200 to 180. We'll have the link, but so they have all their shapes, right? If you're familiar with Pickleball Apes, they have a V, which is their wide body. They have the S, which is their hybrid, and then they have an X, which is their elongated. They'll have their like 17-inch blade shape down the road, but not right now. So this one's a little bit, similar to all the other ones. It's got like, the EPP foam, and then they got some different notches that they've got cut out, and they have that filled with their special foam. This is one of those softer feeling foam paddles. So, when someone says foam, usually they sometimes think soft. It's not, it's got a wide range of feeling, but this one's really soft. Sweet spot, I would say, is not the best sweet spot stock. I added quite a bit of weight to this. I added 6 inches of 1 gram per inch tape. I had two and I cut 3 inches, and then I was like, yeah, this needs 6. Plays way better with weight. Really improves the sweet spot. Okay, so this is an interesting one because I know people have been all over the place with it. So my thoughts, didn't really like the X shape. The X shape kind of was like, just felt like not too maneuverable, and I didn't really like the sweet spot. And I'm like, all right, let's just try the hybrid shape. Let's weight it up. Let's see what's going on here. With that, sweet spot's fine. Not it's like necessarily like the best sweet spot ever, but I would say above average with the weight. And it just like I just felt like I could do anything with this paddle as far as like control and maneuverability. It just felt awesome. Like was hitting some amazing two-handed dinks with this, like the two-handed backhand. My dinks were somehow like the best they've been in a month for with this. It does lack a little bit of the top end power that the other power paddles have. I don't know, like if this is like a power leaning all court leaning power or basic power with the weight, but whatever. It's not even, it's not close to those other ones. It is weird. Sometimes it must have like, it reminds me of like the carbon waves and true foams, because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the ball does just like explode when you have like a big swing. And I'm like, huh, that had way more power than like all my other drives and serves. So like it does seem like there is some power within this paddle, but it's just not like I'm not accessing it every time on the big swings. So I guess that just means that there's like some, maybe it's like I have to get enough power going to access that, or the sweet spot in a certain spot gives it to you. But besides that, it's not like the power's bad. The other thing is, I did notice the pop. It's just like there's not a lot of pop on this paddle. Like you get into firefights, and I could just tell, like compared to like the Loco, I'm like, wow, this is. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more of the work here because it's just not coming off the paddle too hot from the power punches, or from the counter punches, which could be good for some people. If you want something like this, is super controllable, still has enough power to get the job done, and just has a lot of spin and a lot of dwell. If that's what you're looking for, then the Charm Series is good. That's just what the Charm Series is for me so far. But I do really I enjoyed playing with it. Like like you were saying, Dave, if you needed a backup soft paddle in your bag, I could definitely see taking this. But yeah, had I know you said you didn't get a ton of time to play, but did you get some more time on your charm?
Yeah, basically the last paddle I hit was actually the charm in the duo. But the charm still don't like the X shape. Normally I like the
Okay.
elongated shape. Like I like the Harmony X a lot, but this one I just felt like the sweet spot just wasn't there compared to other
Mm,
elongated shapes. And I don't know if it's because of the way it's designed, like with those horizontal indents, but it
yeah.
just felt like it would flex in a bit more, and then it would just definitely die off on the off center shots. With weight, it does perform a bit better, but even then, it's like. I think I would still take the Harmony X over this, and I would still take a lot of the other foam paddles. Um, it's fine as an all court style pad. I just think because the forgiveness isn't there on the X shape, it kind of just drops it a bit lower in the rankings for me.
Yeah.
The S and the V though, I think these like compared to other like hybrids and standard shapes, I think these actually performed better. Not better than those, but like significantly better than like how the X performed against other elongated shapes. Like the S and
Okay.
V had much better sweet spots, and with weight, I think these are really solid all court style paddles. Like if I
Mhm.
had to recommend any one of these, like it would be the S and the V over the X. Like I think these are really good all court style foam paddles, and I think they're more similar to the Carbon True Foam series than they are to like the other EPP foams, just because of
Yeah.
how much like flex and dwell they have. Like you get a bit more of that, and it's a bit softer feeling. So it's a solid all court paddle, and then you get a bit more. Less of that crisp response you have on those other like floating EPP cores like the Loco and the Boomstick. So it's a
Hmm.
different paddle, but it's not bad.
Gotcha. Yeah, I agree. It is wild like how much of a difference between that X shape and the hybrid and wide body. It's just like usually, I mean, obviously there's always a difference, but I felt like this was a pretty big difference of like the X shape. I was like, I just didn't want to play with it anymore. I'm like, this is
Hmm.
not it for me. But the S shape with the way I was like, oh, I was actually having fun with it. So yeah, interesting to see. And I think they did say they're going to come out with some black ones. I don't know if it's all black or like black facing, because I know they have black Kevlar. So um,
Yeah. This will be
we'll
like a
see.
Halloween paddle. They missed their chance for that because that was it's a couple weeks
Yeah,
ago.
it needed to come out like a month earlier so people can
Yeah.
get excited about the Halloween. But maybe they'll come out with like a red and green one.
Mm.
I'm just saying, you guys can take that idea for free. You're welcome. So next up, the enhanced duo, which is also going to be out by the time this podcast comes out. You can see that behind me. I have the core here. So this is an EPP foam. They got the EVA on the perimeter here. So this is different because they have the EPP going all the way through instead of having it cut out and have the EVA foam all around, which would make this a floating core. So it's like sandwiched in on the ends. Um, David, I know you were loving this the last time we talked. How'd your your initial impression of your second time or third time out? What'd you think about it?
I still really enjoy this paddle. It's definitely Enhance's best paddle right now, and it's up there for power. Like I would actually place this above a Loco. Not quite like Flick F1 or Boomstick power, but I do think that this has like pretty like top tier power. Performance overall is good. It's not as like stiff feeling as some of these other foam core paddles like the Loco. It's got a more denser feel, a bit denser and like springier. So it's
Yeah,
unique in that sense. And price is pretty affordable. I think it's like 175 for a code. So overall, like
it,
really great price and great performance paddle from Enhance.
yeah. So on that pricing, it's gonna be 154.99 after a code until January 1st. So if you want to get this, now's the time to get it. And they're gonna have other shapes, but it sounds like the other shapes aren't gonna come out until the new year, and they're not going to be at that price. So I think they're gonna end up being like 180 after a code when they come out.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want another shape, you're not gonna get this price. If you do want the elongated shape, now is probably the time to get it.
Yeah.
That with that 154.99 price, that's just a really good price, especially for a paddle that hits this hard.
Hmm.
And I said that the feel, like obviously it's between like a GX2 Power and a like just saying it's like between those two, but I said it's probably closer to the Loco on that scale than the GX2 Power. But if if I had to pick, like, but I was saying it's like more in between those two.
Yeah.
So I like the feeling of it. It's a nice feel. Uh, I didn't think it was as poppy as the Loco, so
Hmm.
I did actually enjoy that. I felt like it was a lot easier to do a couple shots like flicks and dinks, especially if you're trying to do some like faster paced dinks. I felt like it was a lot easier to control than the Loco. So I enjoyed that aspect, and I think it's one of the best elongateds to play stock too from all these foam paddles. So I think if you're someone that doesn't want to add weight, I think it's a great one. And yeah, just overall, I was really happy with it. Like the more I played it, the more I ended up liking it. Like the first time, I was kind of like, I was like, yeah, I don't know. And then I played it like a couple more sessions. I'm like, now I kind of want to play it in a tournament. I almost played this in the tournament. I'm not gonna lie, because I was like, oh, like should I? Because I was like, should I play this in the tournament before I do the review? But I'm like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. It's like, I just
I don't think I could use
what
this in a tournament. This is
you don't
this
think
hits too
so?
hard for me. No.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Damn. All right. Well, fair enough. Yeah, I do like that enhanced duo. I think that, like it's weird because they're like a really big brand, but they're still not a big brand in the paddle space, right?
Yeah.
So people don't know about enhance as much. If they do, they think about the Dinkmaster board. So we will see if we see some of those out.
That
Well,
and their
I think
tutorial
yeah.
videos too. That's how I learned
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
play actually.
Yeah, they're one of the biggest pickleball channels on YouTube. If not, they actually might be the biggest.
Yeah. I think it's like them, Friday and Briones might be the biggest.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't know.
definitely in the top 3. I think they might
Yeah.
be the biggest right now. So
I
they
don't.
obviously have some marketing power. But yeah, very impressed with this one. We'll see if that could make the paddle awards video. I bet they'll make a
Oh yeah.
into a category somewhere. I'm thinking that was the other one I was thinking about. So I was like, I don't think I have enough time hitting it to say like if that's going to creep into the awards. I don't like what maybe like 10 people have it. Maybe more, but like not a lot of people have it yet. So I don't know, if the general public hates it and then like we are out here loving it, can it make the paddle awards? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it probably can. I don't care. So that was it for this week on the paddles. The only thing else I had to say was that there's a new paddle coming from Revolin soon. Um, I just but just before we got on this, we got an email about it. So I don't. We'll talk more about that next time. I don't know if we're gonna get it before next podcast, but it looks it's something like completely different than anyone else is doing as far as like the facing material and stuff they're doing inside the paddle. So always fun to try something that's completely different than what everyone else is doing. So
Hmm.
I'm interested in it. Anything else from you, David, on paddles or life advice? Anything in general?
Uh, yeah. Last thing is just like I'm actually pretty excited for the Reblin paddle. I think they're pretty. I won't say underrated, but they're just like a really surprising company. Like they have a lot of unique things, and it's just a lot of what they come out with is either like it's not popular, but like it really hits like a niche market, and it's just
Yeah.
they do come out with really unique things, and it's really interesting. I do appreciate what they do, so really excited to see what this new thing they have is.
They just have to figure out a better way to do their sweet spot, right? Like I don't know if it's like perimeter weighting well, I don't know. It's just like their sweet spots haven't been the best. If they can just fix their sweet spot issue, we could see some more mass adoption of their paddles. But if you don't have a
Yeah,
good sweet spot, it's just like you're just never going to take off right now. Like it's just the sweet spots are too good. If you can't bring the sweet spot, it just I think it's just like an instant like no from most people. So
yeah. It's just because they're like American company, so a
yeah,
lot of they don't use thermoforming here.
yeah,
That's why you see like Paddle Tech, Engage don't have great sweet
yeah.
spots, but The exception is going to be F&B. I think what they've done is
Yeah.
created a solid one. So maybe they can learn
So
something
there's a
from them.
way. There's
Yeah,
different ways out there. So we'll see what they
yeah,
do. But I'm excited. We'll talk about all their technologies. 'Cause I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it. I didn't really read the whole email. That
yeah. I haven't
I
read
was
it
just
yet.
like, huh. I read a little bit. I'm like, this sounds really interesting. So and it's got a facing material that no one's ever used. I know that for sure. So
Hmm.
we will see what that's all about. Because right now we're getting like all these iterations of copycats and slight changes. So it's refreshing to see something different for us because we've been hitting like, so many EPP, EVA foam paddles. Like we want to hit something different.
Yeah.
Not that obviously like it's a good combo, but we need a little variety. We can't just hit the same thing all the time. So
Hmm.
it'll be good. Anything else coming up for you? Are we getting a video this week?
Yeah, hopefully
How
soon. I've
good
I've started
MMA
working
players
on
are at
them.
pickleball?
No,
And
I
what
think
what
it's
do
the
we
other
got?
way around.
What do we got coming out? Anything you want to tease or
Yeah, I've been behind on all their like fall releases. So just
okay,
kind of combining like everything that I've hit before I went on vacation into like one video because I
okay,
did shoot all the footage of myself hitting with them. I do have the thoughts, just don't have time to do like for like 5 individual videos. So just gonna make
okay.
one big one. And,
So what do we
that'll be the
got?
next
Like
one.
Charm, Enhanced
Yeah,
Duo,
Opal,
Opal.
the F&B run out.
Okay,
Might throw another one in.
okay. Surprise! You gotta watch the video to find
Yeah,
out that fifth one, guys.
yeah.
I don't know if I have anything coming out this week besides the podcast. I did reviews back to back with the Black Opal and the Hands Duo, so I feel like that was pretty good. I don't know if I got more in me, so we'll see. We'll see how much energy I can muster to do
Yeah.
something else. But that's it for now. Everyone have a great week. Go play some pickleball and have fun.